Good morning, students. Good Friday morning to you. Welcome to the last day of the week. I'm doing this video pretty late at night, so my voice will be a little raspy and tired, so just bear with me, and we should be fine. Let's see what we have here. Let me look at my announcement sheet. Again, congratulations on another week accomplished. 1 week closer to graduation for 3 of you anyways. And Tara, 1 more week closer to getting to your senior year. You will have a quiz today. You do owe me homework first of all, so please pass your homework in. I hope you're doing your homework. Any homework not turned in this week will be turned to zeros. And again, I'm not being mean about that. You just have got to do your homework every night. You know what? That's normal school, guys. Guys being generic for males and females. And guys, you've got to do your homework, okay? Ashley, I graded your makeup test a couple of days ago and I forgot to tell you, so I apologize. It's in Sycamore. I've taken the incomplete off of your third 9 weeks, so if you want to know what your test score was and what your third 9 weeks grade was, all of that is on Sycamore. At this time, Mr. Harmon should have already passed your quizzes out to you. I instructed him to first pass out your quizzes and then start the video. So if you would clear off your desks and take a look at that quiz, we're going to go ahead and start the quiz here in a minute. I'd like to go over it with you. So would you please, again, get out any paper you want to show work on. I cannot imagine coming to a math class without a calculator. I hope you guys are bringing your calculators. If not, you need to start doing that, okay? Be responsible and bring the tools that you need to help you be successful for class. But anyways, get out your pencils, a piece of paper to show your work on, your quizzes, and here we go. Take a look at the screen here, and you'll see, of course, don't forget your bonus points, students. Please don't forget to put your bonus points, and also your name. Numbers 1 through 3, fill in the blank. Here's the 3 definitions that I told you would be on your quiz, so there they are. All right. Anything I say, you're welcome to make note of. All right. So feel free to write down anything that I say. For example, on numbers 4, 5, and 6, I want you to first of all look at the directions, state whether or not the solid is a polyhedron or not. So you'll simply say for number 4, you'll simply say yes, it's a polyhedron, or you'll say no, it's not, one of those two. So here, yes or no, here, yes or no, okay? And then when it says name, here's what I'm talking about. Let me give you some examples. You can write these examples down. Just listen. We have rectangular prisms. We have triangular prisms. We have cylinders. We have pyramids. What's some other stuff we've looked at? We've looked at, octagonal prisms, hexagonal prisms, okay? That's what I'm looking for. When I'm asking you to put the name, that's what I'm talking about, okay? So that's what I want in those blanks. So hopefully you studied that. I did tell you to, and hopefully you're ready for that. All right, then if you look at number 7, 8, and 9, you're simply matching. So in this blank here, you will put A or B or C. Here you'll put A or B or C, and here you'll put A or B or C. Now I've done that to force you to learn your formulas, but I've also done that to help you with your test. Because if you match these up correctly, now you've got these formulas right here to help you for the rest of your, I think I said test, I meant quiz. So these formulas are here to help you the rest of your quiz. And then if you look at numbers 10, 11, and 12, I'm asking you to find 2 answers, okay? For number 10, you find the surface area and the lateral surface area. We have a cylinder here. Here we have a rectangular prism. I want you to find the surface area and the lateral surface area. Here we have a triangular prism. I want you to find the surface area and a lateral surface area, okay? So hopefully you've studied that. I warned you it would be on there, so hopefully you'll do well with that. And then number 13, find the surface area for the given pyramid. And here's the pyramid, of course, and hopefully these formulas back here right here will be a help to you. So go ahead at this time and pause the quiz, because if you'll glance up at the screen, I'm going to go ahead and start giving notes here in just a minute, okay? And so go ahead and pause the video. Take your time on the quiz. If it takes you 20 or 25 minutes, that's fine. The lesson I have today is very, very, very short, okay? And your homework assignment's pretty small also. All right, so go ahead and pause the video at this time, and go ahead and take your quiz. When you're done, we're not going to be able to go over them today in class like I'd like to do. I apologize. There's just not enough time today. So when you're done with your quiz, I apologize, but you'll turn them in to Mr. Harmon. And on Monday, I will go over those with you guys. He'll pass those out to you, and we'll go over them in class. All right? Go ahead and pause the video and start your quiz at this time. Okay, students, let's go through these sets of notes very quickly. Again, my voice is really tired, and so just kind of bear with me here. You should have turned your quizzes in by now, so we should be good to go. And again, I'm sorry we're not going over them today, but on Monday you'll see how well, or if you didn't do well, how you did on the quiz, okay? Please copy this in your notes if you would. We're looking today at finding the surface area of cones. Now, we've learned how to find the surface area of prisms. We've learned how to find the surface area of cylinders. We've learned how to find the surface area of pyramids. And now we're going to learn today how to find the surface area of cones. Lesson 9.3, that's the rest of lesson 9.3 today. And the date today is the 5th, all right? Okay, well, let's jump into this and whip this out and get this done. Here we go. That's the formula you'll need right there, okay? Would you copy that in your notes? This is the formula that you will need to find the surface area of cones, all right? This should be an F up here, not surveys, surface area. There we go. And so this is the formula you will need when I ask you to find the surface area of a cone. Now, B stands for the area of the base. Would you please copy that down? Capital B stands for the area of the base. Of course, pi is going to be 3.14. R stands for the radius. And just like yesterday, L stands for the slant height. Okay? I'm going to give you just a second to copy that down. Then we're going to look at 2 problems, 3 if you all feel like it's necessary, and then we'll go ahead and start your homework, all right? Take a second and copy this down. B stands for area of base, R stands for radius, L stands for slant height. And this is how you find the surface area of cones, okay? All right, what I want you to do, so that you're not trying to draw this drawing in your notes, just simply write down page 494, example 3A. And that's at the top. If you look at the top of page 494, you will see example 3A. And they want us to find the surface area of this cone. Let me go back and see if I can't quickly cut and paste this just to save time, so I'm not always having to write that. There we go. So we're going to find the surface area of this cone. There's the formula that I've taught you to use. So when we say area of base, do understand this, please, students. Watch carefully. Area of base assumes, now watch this, that the cone is like this, okay? So when we say area of base, we are talking about this circular part right here, all right? Just want to make sure that you understood that. And I'm going to go ahead and flip this back up now. So area of base means as if the cone were setting on that circle. There we go. Good enough. And so let's go ahead and find the area of this base right here, this circle. And how do you find the area of a circle? Well, it's pi r squared. And then let's bring down the rest of our formula, pi r out. Does everybody see why I put pi r squared? Your base is a circle, and we're finding the area of the base. So for pi, I'm going to substitute 3.14. For r, the radius, I'm going to substitute 4 squared. And then for pi right here, I'll substitute 3.14. And then for my radius, of course, I'll put a 4. And then my slant height, I'm going to put a 6. Okay? Now go ahead and break out your calculators. You're going to want to type this expression in first and get out a number. And then you're going to want to type this expression in and get out a number, and then add those 2 numbers, okay? So go ahead and get out your calculators and type those in and see how you do. If you typed this first group of numbers in correctly, you will come up with 50.24. And if you type in the second set of numbers correctly, you will get out 75.36. Okay? Now add those two numbers together and you will get 100, let's see, I'm doing it in my head here, 125.6. So if you add these together, you'll get 125.6. So if you're rounding to the nearest whole number, excuse me, you will get 126 square inches. Now, that was pretty simple. If you know the formula, which is right here, then you can pretty easily, with a calculator, find the surface area of a cone. However, I want to point something out to you. Do you see this little letter L right here, the slant height? They gave you the slant height. If they don't give you the slant height, just like we learned yesterday, you're going to have to draw a right triangle like this, and you're going to have to find this slant height right there. And that's what's going to happen on the next problem. So please pay attention and watch exactly what we have to do, okay? All right, here's the next problem we're going to look at. And I'm not expecting you to draw this in your notes, just write down where we're at. We're still on the same page. We're still at the top of the page. But notice there's an example B. So top of the page still, page 394, example 3B. Do you see it? Look right here, students, please. Do you see how they do not give you the slant height? Do you see that? And we're going to have to find that slant height, okay? And so let me get a different color marker here. If I draw a right triangle, see this coming down, they give you the height there. Now that's not the slant height, that's the regular height. We learned that yesterday, just like a pyramid. When you're on top and you go straight down, that's called the height. This is your slant height right over here, connecting here, and then here is another side of your triangle. That's your radius, actually. So before we do anything, we know what the radius is, it's 12, but we do not know what the slant height is. So here's your triangle. I'm going to copy it down here. We know this height right here is 5, and we know this length right here is 12. So using Pythagoras Theorem, 5 squared plus 12 squared equals my hypotenuse squared. Here's my right angle right here. I would have 25 plus 144, that would be 169, equals h squared. Take the square root of both sides, and 13 equals h. So your slant height right here is going to be 13. All right. Now you should know how to do that from yesterday's class, okay? So now that we know the slant height, let's go ahead. Hold on one second, please. There we go. Now that you know the slant height, we should be able to find the surface area of this cone using our formula right here. So here we go. To find the surface area for B, I'm going to find the area of the base. Well, the base is always going to be a circle on a cone, so to find the area of the base, it's going to be pi r squared. Then bring down the rest of my formula. All right, so for pi, I'm going to substitute 3.14. And for r, I'm going to substitute 12. That's my radius. And then plus, and then of course we have 3.14 for pi. We have 12 for r. And for our slant height, we have 13. Now just like the last problem, we're going to type all this into our calculator here and get out a number. We're going to type this in, and we're going to get out a number, and then we're going to add those two numbers together. Okay? So go ahead and break out your calculator, start typing those in, and see what you come up with, and see if they match what I'm going to write. If you've typed this first group of numbers here incorrectly, if you've typed it, as long as it's incorrect, if you've typed it into your calculator correctly, you will come up with 452.16. And if you type in this second group of numbers correctly, you should get out 489.84. And if you add those two numbers together, you will come up with a whole number, exactly 942 square feet. So that's the surface area of a cone. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop there. I told you I was going to keep the video short. I had another problem I was going to do, but to be honest with you, you should, based on yesterday's notes, you should know how to find the slant height of a pyramid or a cone, either one. And now that you know that this area of the base right here on a cone, the base is always going to be a circle. So to find the area of the base, you're going to use pi r squared, and then the rest of your formula. Add these two numbers together. I really think you'll be fine. Plus, I want to give you time to work on this in class before the weekend. Now, if you do not get a lot of time to work on this in class, and you've got to do it over the weekend. Then students, that's high school, okay? You're just going to have to do it over the weekend. Here's the video. Now it's a little different than usual because we spent 2 days on 9.3. So watch this. I've changed it just a little. If you need help on your homework, you want to use BAG, Berean Academy Geometry BAG, and then 9-3, and then look at this, Part 2. There's a space here, then a space here, just like normal, Part 2, space, and then homework. Okay, so if you need help on this homework assignment, and here's your homework assignment right here. I think that's 7 problems. I mean, not much at all. Do this in 15 minutes, probably 15-20 minutes. But if you need help on the homework, it's Berean Academy Geometry BAG 9-3 space part space 2 space homework, and that will help you. Okay, have a great weekend. Your quizzes will be back to you on Monday. We'll have more work next week, and we're going to have a test. I'm sorry guys, but I've got to get it in before senior trip. You do understand that. So on the Monday before senior trip, so not this coming Monday, but a week from this Monday, that's the last day of class before you leave for New York City. On that last day of class on a Monday, we're going to have a test that day. Mr. Harmon has already written that on the test calendar for me. Okay, have a good weekend, and we will talk to you guys on Monday.